Hey everyone, we're going to be cleaning out our coop today, so I thought I would do a little video for everyone. And part one of the video, I'll show you all the features of our coop. We designed it ourselves and had someone build it for us. And then part two will be actually cleaning it and what we do with all the waste. So this is the inside of our coop, and we designed it so that we can get probably 8 to 10 chickens in here. We've got 2 roosting bars at the top, and we ended up adding 1 more lower down because it seemed like they were having trouble getting up on the roosting bars when they were full. And they also like to stay on this little side bar. And we made it a little bit deeper so we could do the deep litter method where you put fresh shavings on top and let it kind of start composting inside the coop. And we added a bar here. It's removable. This piece lifts out when we're ready to clean it out. And we've put some linoleum at the bottom. Here it's kind of lifted up and material got underneath, but when this is under the bottom, it's easier to scoop all the shavings and poops right out. And we're gonna do that today. We're gonna scoop everything out and put it in our compost and let it break down in our compost pile. And we also have 3 nest boxes. We do have little nest pads that we use to put in there because they're lined on the bottom and a lot easier to clean out. And we usually clean those out from the top of the nest box. Another thing we did in our coop is we made sure there were some little windows at the top for airflow, but so that the breeze wasn't blowing on them directly. And it was getting a little bit hot in the summer, so we did add a couple of windows to the sides. There's one in this big door that does open up, and we made it so that we can close them up when it's cold. We just have them propped up. Has like a little sliding door basically, so we take the little stick out and shut the door, and then that way they're a little bit warmer for the cold weather. So this is the nest box portion of the coop. The lid is open right now. We do keep it shut most of the time, except when we're collecting eggs, so the lid just pops down. We have these latches on the sides, so we latch it shut, and then we just put a little carabiner on there to clip it closed. That way predators can't try to get through the latch. And we have the same latches on the outside door. So when the door is shut, we do the same thing with the latches and the carabiner. So this is a newer feature we have. It's an automatic door that opens in the morning when it gets light enough and then closes at night when it gets dark. And it's been working really well, actually. We haven't had any chickens get left in or out, and it's been closing and opening as it should. And we've been really pleased with it. We had just a little wood door on here that we were raising and lowering every day, but now we don't even have to come out, and this thing just does it on its own. So to clean out the shavings and poop, we're just scooping everything directly into a wheelbarrow, and it should scoop right out. So like I mentioned earlier, we've got 2 sheets in there. When we redid our coop, we only had a small piece left, so unfortunately this isn't working out very well, we're discovering, because all the shavings and poop are going underneath. But for the most part, you can see where it is covered. It's kept the wood nice and dry and clean, and it's done its job for the most part. But next time we need to buy some more linoleum in a bigger sheet, so that we won't have this problem of it going underneath the other sheet like that. So this is it, mostly cleaned out. We just lay the sheets flat on the bottom. Like I said, ideally we'd have just one big piece in the bottom, so it covers the whole thing. But this is working for now, and then when we get the next piece, we'll make sure we get one. We have a chicken wanting to come in here to lay her egg. So next we're gonna put down the fresh shavings and some diatomaceous earth to keep the bugs away, and then we're also gonna clean out their little nest boxes. We were using some hemp bedding for a while. It's a bit expensive, so right now we are using the Mallard Creek triple screen shavings. Keeps some of the dust down, still gets a little dusty, but keeps things clean, doesn't get too smelly. When we do the deep litter method and we put a fresh layer on top every so often, it really doesn't smell too bad in here. It just does if you let the poops pile up on top too much, but once you put fresh shavings down, it gets nice and clean and it keeps the moisture out. These are the nest pads I was mentioning. So there's a lining on the back side and nesting material on the top. So we put these in their little nest box. So we have that linoleum lining their nest as well. We put the little nest pad down. Sometimes I give it a tiny fluff, but they like to come in and they turn it into a little nest themselves. They'll make a nice little nest. As you can see, they've already laid a bunch of eggs today, and they made their own little nest in there, little pocket where they like to lay their eggs. So they'll do the same thing with the fresh nest. So we were using diatomaceous earth to keep the bugs away. Now we are using First Saturday lime. Seems to be working pretty well. Oh, and here comes a lady to check out what we did to her nest. Hi, Carmelita, what do you think? Nice and clean? You gonna fix it up? Yeah, you're gonna fix it up the way you want? She says, what did we do in here? She's not too sure yet. She's gotta check it out. So this is our temporary compost pile. We didn't really have anywhere to put compost when we first moved in, so we are just using this empty planter box that's near our barn for now. It's not ideal, obviously, but it's kind of just what we had in the moment. So we're just dumping all of the poops and shavings in there. We'll get it stirred up, and right now we don't really have a way to wet it down very well, so at some point we're gonna make ourselves a nice little compost bin where we're gonna wet everything down and do it properly, but for now this is where we're dumping everything.